I'm Megan.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Kadence.
And this is Kasen. Huh. I'm really thankful that I had twins.
Mm.
They're best friends. They actually don't fight too much, and Kadence is such an amazing advocate for him. You know, like when we go places, and like for instance Chick-fil-A in the play area, like she's quick to tell all the kids, this is my brother Kasen. He has autism and he can't talk.
But he wants to play.
Fun.
Yeah.
And that's like her speech now. Like that's what she but she loves him so much, and I'm just really I'm really thankful that I have two of them and they can be each other's best friends and look out for each other.
And
because he looks out for her too.
Yes, so much.
He's quick to swipe somebody if not literally, but like he has her back all the time. And he really worries about her.
I love Kasen like 1,000.
1,000? A lot.
He doesn't like to sleep. And
What else does
he
he like?
sleeps crazy.
He sleeps crazy.
And he's crazy.
What? He acts crazy.
Yeah.
He's-
He likes to combs.
That is you.
And he always likes to take his shoes off and put them back on. And then that's it.
What do you like to do with Bubba?
I like to play with him.
You like to play? What do you like to play?
Oh! Hide and seek.
Oh yeah, you do love hide and seek a lot. I think that's your favorite one, huh?
That's it.
So I was saying, for me, I never noticed that my son was different. I've never been around children until my son's diagnosis. I've never been around a child that had autism or a disability, and so I didn't even know what to look for, honestly. But so Kasen was a preemie. He was 3 months premature, and he was in early steps. And so his therapist started to point out little things that he did, and that they were concerned about. And I saw them, but I didn't realize that they were things to be concerned about. So I would say close to around the age of 2 is when I noticed that, the lack of speaking or even babbling, or like he flapped his hands. He had like what I at the time thought was more like seizures, which I've now learned is stimming, but I don't know. Like, so we explored the seizure thing. So, but I thought it was a seizure, and so we went to a neurologist, and they ruled out the seizure. He went through a series of tests, and what did they end up saying that was at first?
They said it was a
A form of stimming.
yeah, a form of stimming.
Yeah. Yeah, but so
Sensory input.
Yeah.
Sensory seeking.
yeah, but to me at first it kind of looked like a seizure, of sorts. And, like his eyes would roll in the back of his head, and he would just kind of, and it was short. It only happened for like a short minute, but I showed the therapist. I was like, because they were in our house like almost every day. It felt like. And they're like, oh yeah, that's definitely something that we need to look into. What about you?
Well, I don't know. I guess I've kind of been around kids with autism just by cutting hair, and I've been exposed to to know what to kind of look for, and I guess I kind of felt like I did start to notice that there were some things where, like when you call his name, he wasn't as attentive as Kadence was, and things like that. So I guess I probably started to notice maybe a little bit before you did, and I worried about it a little bit, but I didn't want to like mention it because I didn't want to freak her out. But anyway, I guess in the more time went by, like she said, you know, we're having twins. It's like you see them growing like right next to each other. She was starting to talk and all of that stuff. And we noticed that he, you know, wasn't on the same level as her. So I guess that's kind of when the awareness was brought up, I guess.
We went to the neurologist based off because we were concerned about the medical, like wanted to rule out that it wasn't a medical condition.
Seizures or epilepsy.
Yeah, right. And after they ran a series of tests, she referred us to the Emerge Center. And that's when we went and did a evaluation. We did an evaluation to see if Kasen had autism, and he was just about to turn 2 years old. It was a very long evaluation, and that's when he was diagnosed with level 2 autism at the time.
So we, from there, got hooked up with therapists to try and, you know, help him through these things and help us learn what we needed to do to understand it.
Well, my initial feelings were concerned for Kasen's future, and I still I always get so sad to talk about his future. Ooh, I said I wasn't gonna cry, but I'm gonna cry yourself. But I'm usually just worried about his future. And being able to like be independent when he gets older. I worry about him having friendships or relationship of any sort. You know, like I watch him struggle now with relationships with his own family, at school, with his friends. Communication's like a really big struggle, and it's a hard barrier for him. But he's such a trooper. He always does it with a smile on his face. Like, you know, it's like he doesn't, it's like right now, I guess I carry that burden and that weight of what he doesn't realize that he's going through, I guess, you know, but, and that's my main concern, and like, I guess educational, you know, like he's very behind, but we focus on the positives right now. He's only in kindergarten, so like the positives are, you know, he's a very social kid. He meets no stranger. He gives he loves recognition. High fives are his thing. Everybody gets a high five. And if he needs reassurance that y'all are okay, like he needs a high five, you know, that's his biggest form of communication. You know, like what do you do for a child that has all these hurdles to learn? You know, like, does he just get F's because he doesn't know how to spell the word cat in the first grade? Or, you know, does he have help and understanding, and so he gets a C because he has a disability? Like, I don't know. And I ask, and nobody gives me a straight answer. So I'll have to explore this as we go, you know. But yeah.
I was a worry, you know. I had a lot of worry, like, cause I didn't want, because I knew the struggles that would be ahead for him, and I knew the judgment he would get from people. You know.
The lack of support.
Yeah, and like I just knew it was coming because, like I said, I've been in a setting where people don't understand. Like I cut hair, and everybody who knows now, like it's hard. Like kids with autism, that's one of the things. Like they have the sensory, they don't like the buzzing, they don't like the hair falling on them. So I like can recognize it, but other people, you know, in there they don't, and it's everybody looking and the people, you know. So I was worried about that for him. I didn't, you know, I knew he was gonna have struggles, and just worried about that, you know. I think a lot has changed just as far as outlook, and for me, outlook, and getting past those feelings of worry, and just learning how to take each day as it comes and appreciate everything that comes with it. You know, like really just perspective on everything, and trying to help change other people's perspective, because I was talking about it with somebody recently. It's just when you take the time to get to know these children, it changes the way that you view. I don't know, it's just because they have all the struggles, and they're just the happiest kids. Like they don't see that, and it's, you know, it just changes. It makes you look at things from more, in a way, it's just a more positive outlook, because you see how somebody with so many struggles could just be happy and not worry about it.
Well, I would say at first, some family members weren't as patient with him. With Kasen, it really requires like a lot of patience, and you have to give it time to figure out what he's saying. You know, he's great with gestures. He does say what he needs to say, but it's through gestures, and
you have to take the time to tune in to really,
and you have to be open-minded and think about it. You know, like what would this gesture insinuate? But so I wouldn't say that at first. Not everybody was, patient with him, and some got, just a little overwhelmed. And you go in thinking that you have like a huge support system or a village, and you realize that you actually don't have a village, because, not only, we have, not only does Kasen have autism, and I feel like that's overwhelming. Like, they're like, so family would be like, I just don't know what to do with him, or how to, like, it just, I feel like it's really overwhelming everybody. And then I also have twins, so that, it's a double whammy. And so we just don't have a lot of, we don't have a huge village. I feel like over time, and as he's gotten older, my family and your family has, taken more time to learn, his needs and wants, and they've become more patient, but it has been a journey. It definitely was not something that came right away. It took time and understanding and learning how to be patient with him and give him the time to, express his wants and needs.
I agree. I do think it's getting a little better now that he's older. I think people are. I realize that we're getting a lot of recognition for like what a good job we're doing with him, as far as, because I think people are realizing the patience that it takes, and the work, the taking him to all the therapies, all of these things that have to happen to help him. I think people are like starting to see that, and they're like, you know, proud of y'all, you're doing a great job. But it didn't. I don't think it dawned on people what it actually entails to have, you know, especially a child with autism. I truly believe in what y'all are doing, and I believe that it is going to make a major difference. It allows families with, you know, that have the same struggles to come together, and it allows children who aren't on the spectrum to better understand children who are, and the hope is that they can create awareness and be advocates for them, you know, as they grow older and
because the more familiar they are
yes,
with it, the
because
more
they
that
can,
they can, you know, advocate for them
exactly.
in public settings that aren't safe,
Mhm.
you know, foundation and play dates.
Right, because by going to the play dates and learning, they can take that back with them to school and advocate for other special needs kids that are, you know, that they're around on an everyday basis, you know, to help other kids understand and be more aware. So I think it's great.
Well, we definitely we go on vacations. We, you know, we don't let, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm saying, like, we don't let his diagnosis, you know,
Change
keep
the
us-
way we would live
right,
on a normal basis.
you know, like
We still go out and we take him to the grocery store. Like we, you know, because he a lot. You know, I find that some families are reluctant to do these things, or you know, just because of the struggles. But we like to expose him. We like to make sure that he gets this normal. Like instead of trying to like keep him secluded all the time because of what might happen. You know, because there might be a meltdown or, you know, whatnot. So we try to do the things that people without kids with this, you know, or special needs would do. You know.
so. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I get nervous. You know, when I take him into public settings. Like I get so nervous when I take him to, you know, Chick-fil-A's play area. You know, every time something happens.
Mhm.
You know, and so. You know, but I don't let it stop me. I still take him the next time, you know, like.
Because he has to be exposed. He has to learn, you know, how to be in these settings. And if we don't expose him to that, then how will he know, you know? And then as far as like, you know, I find that as far as discipline or so, you know, we try not to treat him any differently, like as if when he does things he's not supposed to do, as far as like, oh, it's just because of his diagnosis, you know, or you know whatnot. He still is like, we say, you know, he still is taught. He's not. How am I trying to say it? Like, obviously his diagnosis is taken into consideration, but we don't make that an excuse for him. Okay, that's what I was trying to say.
We also put like he does extracurriculars. You know, he does Team of Dreams, which is a t-ball league for children with disabilities, and you know, I love going to their games and, you know, seeing all the kids and parents come together for that. And we recently put him in Kid Strong, and you know, he loves Kid Strong. He thrives really well there. You know, they teach him confidence and you know, manners. They, you know, teach him what's the word I'm looking for?
Discipline, structure,
Yeah, but
direction, how to follow.
assertiveness. Yes, assertiveness.
Mm-hmm.
We do that. We go play in the park. Like I said, I was really nervous about taking him to Disney.
Well, we did it.
I was so nervous. I was like, are we ready for this?
I was like, we need a bungee.
This is big.
We need a bungee cord. We need to attach him to me because like I'm like 3
really
feet. like 3 feet. I don't want him within 3 feet away from me. And she's like, it's gonna be okay.
I feel like I had a little more confidence.
She was way more.
I was nervous.
I was just so nervous because he gets sweaty and he's not like when he decides he's done with something. He's just like, okay, he don't need anything.
Yeah,
He
he's
does
like, I'm
not
done.
need
I'm like, all
He
done.
doesn't need an adult. He's just like, okay, I'm out of here, whether you're coming or not. You know what I mean? And it's just like if. So I was just nervous, but we did it, and it was great. He blew our mind. I mean, that was part of the best part of the trip for me. Like it wasn't even like because I didn't even know what to do.
I was ready to go back when we got. I was like,
But he
yeah,
just seeing he so many wins, like the growth, like waiting in line, like knowing what to, following direction, like, hey, we gotta wait on this dot until it's time, and he was just like, yeah, okay, I got this, like I know what I'm supposed to do, and it never ran off. Well, that.
All right, one day.
It was one little thing, but we had it under control. But I mean, it just really that wasn't until like day 5, so he rocked it out. So.
And in all fairness, like once we figured out what was going on, it made sense. So like, all right. So anyway, so at each day at the park when we go to the bus station, he would look at the symbols, and he'd see the park symbols waiting for the bus. Like the tree is for Animal Kingdom, the ball is for Epcot. So when we get to the park, he'd look for that symbol, and he'd be like, like I'm at the tree, or I'm at the ball, so we had one left. But I messed up, and we did a second day of the castle. So he was kind of like,
this is out of order.
Yeah, he was like, I was expecting the Tower of Terror building. And so, but he transitioned. You could see he got a little confused and upset when he walked back in and saw the castle again. But he was like, okay, like whatever. And he went through the day. And so then the next day, we went to the Tower of Terror, Hollywood Studios, but we didn't take him to see the Tower of Terror first. So that's where we lost him. We
didn't literally lose him.
No, I don't. I mean, like, lost his stamina for the day. He was like, no, like, what is all, like, because we went straight, we beeline for Toy Story area, and he's just kind of like, what, no, I need to see my symbol. Am I at the symbol? Like, he needed to know. And so, he saw it in the distance.
That was
in the distance. And so, he was like, oh, well, I'm going to go there.
Yep.
So he just starts taking off across the park. He didn't care if we could have followed him or not. He was like, I'm going to check out the Tower of Terror. Yeah. So that's what had happened. Once he saw the Tower of Terror, he was good. So I know for next time, don't you worry. Next Disney trip, I'll have it down pat. But like, there's your castle. Let's carry on. There's your ball. Let's carry on. Like, I know what he needs, to see in order to have, an easy flowing, successful trip. But yeah.
Everything is gonna be okay. That's all I can say. I mean, it's hard to. It's hard. It is hard. Like waiting to hear that. It's like you're holding your breath and you're scared and you're worried, but everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's all I got.
Everything is gonna be okay, but take one day at a time. Like for instance, I see there's several nonverbal children, but like you sit there and ponder on other people's stories, like, oh, my child was nonverbal until 5, and so like I sit here every day and I'm like, will Kasen always be nonverbal, or will he be verbal at some point, or just any, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just verbal period. And I find that I'm always like trying to compare his story to someone else's story, and I gotta remind myself that he's his own person, and his story is his story. So I mean, my best advice is to just take one day at a time and focus on your child's needs, educate yourself, join some support groups, make some friends with similar, situations, and take one day at a time. It's literally all you can do.
And everything's gonna
It's just, everybody's different. Take each day at a time. Take one day at a time, and don't let a diagnosis stop you from living your best life, living their best life. I would say, my main focus as a parent is to make sure that I'm doing everything in my willpower to be his best support, and to make sure that I'm advocating as best I can for him. But also, I try not to helicopter him. I try to give him a space to be his true self.
and try to make his own decisions and learn from him.
Which again goes, support. We're mainly there for support and, to guide him, but, to give him the tools to, grow and be his best self. So that's all you really can do as a parent, Educate yourself, find like-minded families, and live your best life.
Live your best life. Do it.
You'd be supporting a really great cause and some really great children that you see every month. Sometimes they're amazing children, and these events truly do
Make an impact.
they give these children confidence. They help them blossom. They build friendships. The parents have support groups. It's so much more than
Going to play.
yeah. It
Every
really
time-
truly is.
It's
There's such a bigger picture than just a play date. It's just huge. I don't know how to, but you know what I'm saying.
oh, I know what you're saying. I say do it.